Welcome to the second month of the Build a Week series, where I, Flip, build once a week. Every month we will have a new theme and set of builds. The theme for this month is going to be Alpine Village. I have a few things planned, but my first build is going to be this common house, which I'm sure you already saw in the thumbnail, but I'm going to show you how I built it. Real quick, I do just want to clarify, this is not a tutorial on how to build this exact house, but rather on my thought process when building it. Hopefully you can take some tips out of this video, or maybe you have ideas on how I can improve, which I would love for you to leave in the comments. Now, let's jump into building this house. Hello! So, you may notice I look a little different. The Wi-Fi in my house is currently dead and will not be fixed until tomorrow. So, you're gonna be stuck with the default skins for probably most of this video. But yeah, so I've got a layout, and I did a little bit more terraforming than I did in that time lapse. I just ended up doing it. I've been trying to record this video for a while because I was a little bit indecisive on what theme I should use. But yeah, so welcome to the valley. We've got this massive, amazing mountain range. I mean, look at this. And this little valley here is where we're going to be building. So for this month, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 buildings. And that is a thing for the last week. We're going to be probably following the same format as last month, where the first 3 weeks are going to be mostly buildings and stuff to fill out the village, and then the last week will be custom trees and environmental stuff and all that sort of thing. So, this is going to be our house for today. And yeah, I'm liking this shape, this little like Z thing. It'll be weird, but I think it's kind of cool. And I've got an idea, I could do a little garden back here. And yeah, so let's pop onto the creative world where we are going to get started on that house. I think most of the work, most of the first part might end up just being a time lapse, but yeah. All right, let's pop over there. I'm gonna do buildings on my super flat world for now. I might not do that for all the buildings, but that's what we're doing this week because yeah. All right, let's pop over to that super flat world and get started. Alright, so this is what I have so far. Okay, I ended up taking out the overhang because I do really like how the overhang looks, but I don't think it suits what I'm trying to go for because this house is meant to be kind of like a more common house. Like, this is what most people would have. It costs a little bit less to make. I think that this house just looks really big. And I didn't want it to look super big. I want it to look kind of small. But yeah. So we got kind of two different sections. We got the same shape as the other world. Yeah, two different roofs. And from any angle, it looks like this one's shorter from like most angles. But then when you come up here, they're actually exactly the same height, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so our base is going to be made out of calcite and diorite. And I might also add polished diorite in there as well if I want to in a couple spots. And then the main building is going to be made out of striped spruce wood, which looks like a lot right now, but I'm going to add more details later. And I think already this line makes it look so much better. Yeah, there'll be little details and yeah. And then our roofs, I think I'm going to do a frame of cobbled deep slate and then try deep slate tiles in the inside. Oh yeah, one last thing while I'm doing this. I added these stairs here. They kind of break up between the like base and the normal house, because if I take them out and do this, it looks pretty weird. Like there's no break. Then if I do this, it adds a little bit of a break in there. Yeah. So that's why they're there. Alright, so welcome back. We have got everything filled in. That means I filled in all the spruce. I put that little thing right here. And I filled in the roof as well. It's all connected. It's a little bit funky. And some spots look a little bit odd when you look too close. However, I think it looks pretty good. For the most part, the roof shape makes sense. Like if there's a lot of snow, it'd probably fall off these a lot easier. It would probably get trapped in here, but good thing this is Minecraft and not real life. So now I'm gonna move this into the Build a Week world. And we're gonna do all the detailing and stuff there. So yeah, alright, let's move over. Alright, so now it's in the world. It fits pretty well. Looks pretty great from here. I actually really love this view. And the side's gonna look cool. So yeah, and over here, as I'd said before, there's a little bit of space for like a tiny garden, especially if I push this back a little bit. Yeah. Quite happy with how it looks. Now it is definitely time to make it a little bit less plain. Add some details and stuff. And yeah, let's get on that. Alright, so I've got all of my windows in. And yeah, they wrap around the whole house. We only have a few on this bottom bit, just right here. And the ones on either side here and over here are not final. I think they might be changed depending on the rooms inside. So yeah, the only thing I'm not super happy with from this view, just like that's very flat, which is fine. Usually I would add dormer windows, but I don't think it would really fit the theme. So yeah, inside, the only thing that we really have in here are stairs. I just added these because I wanted to figure out where they would go. And that seemed like the best spot. I could also probably put them over here, but I think this is the better area for them. And then we'll have a back door either here or here. Our next step, I think we're pretty much done with the exterior for now. And we're gonna move on to in here. So our next step is gonna be figuring out where all the floors are gonna go. I also need, okay, first up, I need to figure out what color I want to do. So, I can't do white, spruce wood or deep slate. So let's figure out a good color for that real quick. I think oak might be the best because I want to do this kind of style. And it's light in here to contrast with it should lighten the rooms up a little bit since this is a much lighter color. And it fits with the white as well. So I think we should do oak. And the way that I'm going to do this floor is I'm going to go around and just put down logs and like cross them like this. In places I think there would probably be support beams. And then when I'm done, I'm going to fill in the insides with slabs. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I will get back to you when I'm finished with that. Alright, I think the roof is looking, or the ceiling is looking pretty good. We've got our cross beams and slabs, and then upstairs. Yeah, and we got this perfect square right here, which is crazy. I didn't even mean to do it, but it's pretty much mirrored. I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, next up, let's get a floor in here. And I think for this one, it's already a pretty bright room. And I kind of want to make it feel a little bit more homey, I guess. So we're actually going to take the spruce and use it here because there's none in this room already except for the stairs, which I don't know. I don't know which wood type I'm actually going to be using for that just yet, so yeah. Alright, let's use spruce. And I'm just gonna fill it in. I think for this one I'm gonna do a bit of a checkerboard pattern. Alright, so that already feels a whole lot better actually. And Yeah. So I think it's time to start sectioning off rooms and figure out what we're gonna do with them. Alright, here is the layout I'm thinking, okay? So we come inside. We've got this little just welcome area. Not really anything in here. Then we've got the kitchen and a little sitting room over there. In here, we'll just have like a bookshelf or two or something along those lines, but not a lot because it's mostly the stairwell. And then obviously the door out to the back garden. Upstairs, we'll have a small sitting room. Again, we'll just have some chairs or something. Maybe a bookcase. And then we'll have a bedroom and another bedroom right here, which you can get through here to get to. And then upstairs, we will have our master bedroom with a big bed here and a little fireplace right here. Alright, I need to go get the walls in, so let me just... And now, if we turn around and come back in, the walls are finished. So, we've got this little dividing wall. Then up here, we have a little doorway into this hallway with the bedrooms. And I did change the windows around. They're not permanent. I'm gonna do the interiors of these bedrooms before I make a decision about the final window, but they're pretty easy to change, so yeah. I added up here, we've got a wall around everything, and we've got this cozy little room, and I've got these. They're a little like molding, but the problem is that I can't like put them there, so as cool as they would look, I think we're gonna have to leave them out. But yeah, got all the walls in. So next step, we're going to start doing some of the interiors. We're gonna start downstairs with this little entranceway. Alright, our little simple sitting room. Not a lot going on here. It's got a little, or like a bigger plant right here in the corner. And then a little table with just a photo, a light, and a little plant. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and we've got this little rug with the little bit of carpet and full wool blocks. So yeah. Alright, next up, the kitchen. Alright, so the first floor is done. Well, mostly. I might make a few tweaks on the kitchen, but yeah. Got our kind of entryway with just a plant, a flower, and this little lamp. This had a lantern before, but I ended up changing it because I realized this is probably like a modern day sort of time for this village. Okay. And I still need to think about what I'm gonna do for lighting. Yeah. For now, though, we've got our table, kitchen, then here, another carpet, and our little sitting room in here. This was originally supposed to be a sitting room over here, but I ended up making it into more of a dining table area, but I think it looks cool. I actually made the table dark oak, so it wasn't the same color. Alright, and I'm gonna figure out lighting later. That's gonna be probably the last thing we do, sort of deal, but yeah. Alright, and then through here, and now we have to do upstairs. I just finished the second floor. We've got in here, we've got a little spot to sit down, little bookcase. That's kind of it for this landing. And then in the hallway, we've got our 2 bedrooms. So bedroom number 1, got a large bookcase, a light, a lamp, sorry, a little chest thing, the bed, and yeah, this is the room. Of course, got our banners as curtains, and then yeah, right. And then the next bedroom, yellow. Got our bigger bed, our bigger chest for clothes and stuff, and this is a trap chest. That's why they don't fit together. And then yeah, we've also got our curtains. These ones are closed, which is definitely not just because you can't put the banner on the same block as the slab. Next up, we're gonna be upstairs, and we need to take care first of this landing, and then we're gonna move into the master bedroom. So let's just, I think if we just zoom in on this block, on this pixel right here, then when we zoom out, it'll be done. All right, look at that. So I didn't really, there's not a lot got done. That's why we did that. But yeah, we just got a lamp, some chests, a barrel, and a little sitting thing. And then we've got our master bedroom, which is not done yet. Yeah, let's get started on the master bedroom. Yeah. All right, let's go. So I have finished the interior of this bedroom as well. Pretty similar to the other ones, except for we've got a little fireplace, and you can see the back is made of stone. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, it's not too special. I did want a bigger bed, but the 3 across didn't look very good, so I ended up with just this. I think it's cute. It's not the best ever, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so the back, this is what it looks like from outside. I know it looks bad, however, you can't really normally see it. The only place people would normally go is here, and you can see a little bit of it, but just barely, and most people wouldn't notice that. So I'm just gonna leave it, because I think it looks better from the inside. And you know what? Too bad. Most people would never notice it, so I think it's alright. Anyways, we're just gonna put some finishing touches on this interior, and then that's gonna be it. Most of the things I need to fix right now are just lighting. I will see you when I'm completely finished, and then we'll do our little walkthrough. And yeah. Alright, so I'm finished, and that is gonna be the end of the episode. The Wi-Fi, it was meant to be fixed today, and it was not, so unfortunately I still do not have my skin. However, it will be back next week. As much as I think this is Eve, I want my skin back. Yeah, alright. Let's look at this house. Alright, this is gonna be the finished product. We might add, like, greenery around later in the last episode, but that's not today, so yeah. But we got this spot, which I don't like, but you know, whatever. That's something I added. I'll look at that in a second. Yeah, that is our house. Let's go inside. So we've got our entranceway, hasn't changed at all. Come in here, we've got a little light under the stove, or under the sink. And then we've got our fridge, a little plant, and all of our little stove and stuff like that. Next, we've got, I decided to just put a lamp in here, and we've got our little table, and then we can come around to here, and we have our little sitting room, and then outside we've got this little garden, which I just added. And then headed upstairs, another little sitting room. I just added this little light here. Bedroom number 1, and bedroom number 2. And then I added this. It doesn't really fit, so I don't really love it, but it's kind of hard to fit stuff in here, and I didn't really want to change out the ceiling blocks, so this is what it's gonna be. All right, and then next up in here, got a little sitting room, just a chair. You could probably sit down, and a little storage. And then I've got some paintings put up now. And then into the master bedroom. Again, didn't really change much. Just added a couple paintings. But yeah. If you have enjoyed the episode, please like and comment. Maybe subscribe. Feel free to leave any suggestions down in the comment section. Whether that's on build ideas, how to improve the videos at all. Whatever. Feel free to say hi. So yeah. I want to do a new set of wings to fit with this theme. If you have any ideas for what that could be, please let me know. I was thinking maybe I could do like an owl, or maybe just some ice shards or something. Yeah. If you have any ideas, let me know. In the fire. All right. I will see you next week for the next Build a Week episode, and that will be all for today. Goodbye!